The year is 2039 and the world has never been more fractured. After the devastating second New World pandemic and the unprecedented famine that followed in its wake, the once great nations of Europe and North America found themselves embroiled in a bitter civil war that claimed the lives of millions. The conflict was brutal, and it seemed that there was no end in sight. But as the years went on and the death toll continued to climb, something strange began to happen. People started to realize that they were no longer fighting for a cause, but for their very survival. In North America, millions of refugees fled south, seeking refuge in the other Americas and the Caribbean. The lucky ones found shelter and safety, but for many, life became a daily struggle for survival. The government was powerless to help, and as resources dwindled, violence and lawlessness took hold. In Europe, the situation was just as dire. The once great cities were reduced to rubble, and the countryside was ravaged by famine and disease. The people were desperate, and many turned to radical groups in a last-ditch effort to cling to some sense of normalcy. But amidst the chaos and despair, a beacon of hope emerged. The Unified Nations of Al-Qabulan, a federation of African nations, opened its doors to European refugees, offering them a new home and a chance to start over. At first, many were hesitant to take the offer, unsure of what kind of reception they would receive in a foreign land. But as the situation in Europe continued to deteriorate, more and more people made the difficult journey south. The transition was not easy, and there were many challenges to overcome. The language, culture, and way of life were all different, and the scars of the past were still fresh. But with time, patience, and a willingness to work together, the European refugees began to rebuild their lives in Al-Qabulan. It was not an easy road, and there were many setbacks along the way. But the people of Al-Qabulan were determined to create a better future for themselves and for their new citizens. They worked tirelessly to provide education, healthcare, and job opportunities, and slowly but surely, the tide began to turn.
Christian of Emmanuel.